Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to Oaxaca. We arrived a couple of days ago. I'm going to talk to you all about that journey when we get back. We've been here a couple of days now, but we are just heading to the local market to pick up some fruits. So I wanted to say hello, welcome you to the vlog, and let's start showing you around Oaxaca. So we're on the way to the market. How pretty is that? It's so colourful in Mexico. Anyway, the market should be down here, pretty much straightforward. So this is the market we are going to. I can hear some live music inside. It's our first time coming here, we've not been here yet. Oh wow. So there's fruit juices over there. These are food stands. These ones are bread. I'm not sure if you can hear me. And then there's meat stands. And it's all on different layers here. Some of them are open and some of them are closed. Looks like there's fruit and veg down there as well. Look at all this meat. So we keep going downstairs, and this is where the fruit and veg is. So I think we're going to get some mangoes, hopefully. The plan is mangoes and maybe papaya and maybe pineapple. We love our fruit here. Buenos dias. No gracias. So we just bought 2 red peppers from the market woman for 40 pesos, which is about €2, so about €1 each, which is quite expensive for a red pepper, honestly. But never mind. I think we're now going to go and try and look for some fruit. So just bought a pineapple for 30 pesos, which is about €1.50. It's like, I'm quite brave actually speaking Spanish here, even though I know very little. With certain words you can actually just get by. So like with the pineapple, it came with the whole crown bit, and I said, "Es posible sin," and like pointed. She was like, "Yeah, okay," and like took it off and things. So I think just knowing certain words, it really helps being able to like travel in certain countries. So we are still doing Spanish. We're not doing it every day like we were at the beginning, probably a couple of times a week. We do want to do more though, because I find it really beneficial. Like once you start learning like vocab, you then just happen to hear it in the street, or if you ask somebody a question, they say those words that you've just learned. So it's super duper helpful, so we do want to continue learning. But yeah, I'm quite proud of myself of how well I'm doing so far. So the market was fine. It wasn't my favourite market, probably wasn't the worst market. We have now come to one of the churches. I'm going to pop the name on screen so you can see, because I think there's quite a lot of churches here from what we've seen so far. So I want to make sure that you know where I'm at, and also so I know where I'm at. But it looks absolutely gorgeous from the outside. We're going in the side entrance, so I'll show you inside, and then I'll show you the front when we come back out again. Okay, I'm going to have to whisper a little bit, but wow, this is a beautiful church. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. So that's the ceiling. It's like this gorgeous beige colour with gold detailing. Chandeliers, and at the back it's just so ornate and so beautifully decorated. Absolutely beautiful church inside. Probably one of the prettiest churches I've ever been in, honestly, with the really gorgeous tone of like taupey browny beige with all the gold details. Really pretty. I'm not going to show you the outside. So I've got you on wide angle. This is the church from the outside. Absolutely beautiful. So many figures on there. So many different people. It's interesting. It's very different to everything we've seen so far in Mexico. And then just to quickly show you a little bit closer so you can see some of the details of the people. It's so pretty. And then also somebody are walking in, so you can just see how big it is compared to that person. It's absolutely huge. So that's the church we were just in, and we've come around here and I think they're setting up fireworks. So Jeremy's gone to ask about what time it's going to be. I also have no idea what that white thing is back there. I think the next thing to go and look at is in there, if we can get in. So it might be super boring to you guys, but it's interesting how the stone here seems green. It looks really green through my sunglasses. I wonder what stone it is, because usually it's kind of white or yellow, but this is like a greeny blue shade. So we actually just came into the Palacio Municipal de Oaxaca. A lot of words to remember. And there's an art exhibition on, but it's really beautiful. There's a courtyard with lots of archways, so it's really pretty. And there's an exhibition of an artist's work, so it's really nice to look at that as well. So this is some of the artwork. That's 2 canvases together. This one's a big owl. There's an elephant here, dolphins, flamingos. So he or she, I'm not sure, obviously like to paint animals. So what's nice here is you can come upstairs and you get a really nice view of both layers, but also the church behind. It's really pretty. So we just went in there, which is the Palacio, which is just next to the church that we went into. Now we're actually going to go in this side and hopefully go in the church and whatever that building is next door. I'm sure it's probably just part of the church. So this door says it's university, so I'm not entirely sure if we're allowed in or if it's a museum. Don't know. We're going to go in this way first, into the church. So this is the next church that we're in. Still very beautiful, just a lot more plain kind of on the walls and things. Gorgeous big dome up there. It's pretty. Well, it's a nice view coming out of this church. It's gorgeous with those steps and the colourful buildings on the right, and then the church and the palace in front, and then obviously all the houses and things on the hills at the back. Okay, there's a lot of noisy cars and motorbikes, so I hope you can hear me, but this place is called Escondido Oaxaca, and it looks like it's got a really nice rooftop bar, and then same over there. Looks like that's got a really cute like rooftop place as well. So even though a lot of them have flat roofs, like some of them obviously don't have anything, but then some of them do have you know, bars and things at the top, which is really nice. So first impressions of Oaxaca, having been here a couple of days. Yesterday we spent the day working in the cafe, so we've really not seen a lot. First impressions, it's a hell of a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a cute little town. It's very colourful, it's very artsy, there's loads of like street art, but also more like stickers and things stuck on the wall versus like a mural, if that makes sense. Lots of churches, lots of great food, lots of culture as well. Like we saw a wedding last night, well, 2 wedding celebrations actually in the street last night. I'm actually going to pop the footage in now because it was really fun to see that. I think one of them was an Indian marrying a Mexican, so a lot of the guests were wearing Indian, like traditional Indian clothing, which is really cool. And I think the second one was 2 Mexicans getting married. So I'm going to insert that now so you can see. But yeah, generally speaking, it's a very colourful, very fun city, and I'm excited to spend 2 weeks here and really get to explore and understand the city and the culture of the city, and hopefully see some of the art galleries as well and enjoy kind of that aspect of it. Okay, so this is the Metropolitan Cathedral of Oaxaca. It's open, luckily, so we're going to go inside. I did just want to show you the outside, again with lots of figurines, like people outside. Sounds like they play music inside as well. Or is that someone else? I'm not sure, let's go and have a look. This is the little look of the outside, but I think someone's singing Ave Maria, so I think it's from the inside. Hopefully we can see someone singing, that'd be lovely. Okay, we're in the cathedral, no one is singing, it must just be like a speaker that they play out loud, but I'm going to show you around to the inside.
Disponemos, le pedimos perdón al Señor por las faltas que haya.
Can you hear them singing? Wow. So this is one of the side rooms. I'm trying to be quiet so I don't disturb people. It's really pretty. Well, it was nice to go in that one. I feel like oftentimes with churches and cathedrals, if they're doing some sort of service, you're not really allowed in, and especially kind of walking around taking pictures of videos. They really didn't mind, and it was so nice to hear like a whole group of people singing, not swimming, singing, because I don't personally ever witness that, because obviously I don't really go to church, I don't go to choir classes, I don't go to singing classes. So I think it's really powerful when you hear, you know, 100 people all singing the same song, even if it is church things, which obviously I'm not into. But yeah, it's really pretty, and that was really nice to kind of witness that and to see it. So yeah, apparently today is the day of churches. There's another one up there that I think we want to go and have a look at as well in a minute. So we've literally just come out of the church, and this is the historic plaza, like the square of Oaxaca. Lots of street vendors, things like that, lots of seating. And over here on the side, this orange building is a place called Mayordomo, and this is apparently it's the best chocolate in the world, somebody said to us the other day. But they sell hot chocolate, and I think they also sell like kind of chocolate desserts and things like that. I think it is a restaurant. We did look at going to work there, but I don't think they have internet. But I would like to try a Mayordomo chocolate while we're here at some point. I think that one is the big main one, but I've seen at least 4, maybe 5 different places. Some of them are like a little cafe, some of them more like a bigger restaurant, and some of them is just a shop where you can buy like a cold chocolate drink, or you can actually buy blocks of chocolate to take home and make your own hot chocolate. So it seems like a really popular place here. Apparently it's the best in the world, so I will have to try that at some point. I'll let you know when I do. I wonder if you can notice there how the stone looks green. I love how that clock is pink as well. But yeah, the stone looks like a greeny colour, and then next door to it you've got this wonderful building. I think it's probably a hotel. It's so pretty here, it's lovely. So like I said, lots of different street vendors here selling balloons, toys, blankets, clothing, that kind of thing. So I've just found another church. This one is Templo de la Contemplano something de Jesus. I'm so bad at remembering more than like 4 words. But this one's open, so we're going to pop inside as well and see what it's like on the inside. So the main doors are gorgeous, but they're closed. So I think we have to go in the side here. So I'm not sure if we have to pay. We'll see. These are the opening hours, if you ever want to come here. And a bit of information, if you want to pause the video in Spanish and English. So the door we went through leads to this like courtyard, outside space. It is double layered, so there's, you know, something upstairs as well. And there's these huge cactus, like they're literally ginormous. But I don't know how we get into the church. We haven't, oh we can't, okay. Yeah, didn't think so. How pretty is this though? Put it on wide angle. So pretty. Okay, 2 things I've realised since being here and vlogging. The first thing is that people always think I'm filming them. When I film like this, I'm obviously holding my phone out, and people think that I'm filming that way, like I'm filming people. I'm not, but people will literally put their hand in front of their face, a bucket, a newspaper, a t-shirt, whatever they have, just so they're not being filmed. So that's the first thing I've noticed. The second thing is nothing to do with Mexican people or being here. Well, it's got to do with being here. What I've realised is a lot of buildings look like something from the front, and then you step through and it's like a whole courtyard. And I think it's such a nice idea for a home if you were to have like bedrooms all around the outside, and then like a kitchen lounge on one side, and have a courtyard with like a swimming pool, or like, sorry, I think I got cut off then. I have seating, and some of it covered with like a tree, but some of it out in the sun so you can sunbathe. But having courtyards is something that we don't have in England, and it is so pretty. So this church was not open, we couldn't get in, we could just go to the courtyard, which is a bit of a shame. But we're going to walk around the square and then go to the other one, hopefully, if we're allowed in there, if it's open. So we walked around here the night that we arrived, and there was a big truck full of plants, and there was teams like planting all these plants. It's really nice to actually see them all settled in their pots, and it's made it really colourful and lovely. I also love how many of these blossom trees there are, and cafes, and it's just so pretty here. I love it. So this shop has big tiger heads outside, and it looks like it's a pharmacy. So I'm intrigued as to why there's big heads outside. Maybe it's a cafe or something. But this is a walking street, and then there's this in the middle, which is so cool. It's the Mexican papel pique or something like that. It means like pecked paper, and it's a Mexican tradition. We learned about this the other day, we read about it online. But yeah, it's really, really pretty, especially with all the colours of the buildings and things. This is so pretty. Like, you do see it in towns and cities and things, but not in a circle like this. It's so nice, especially with the colourful buildings, and also how it casts the shadows on the floor. I'll put it on wide angle. So cute. Okay, we've come to the next church. I'm going to pop it on screen because honestly I can't remember all the names of all the churches. I'm going to quickly poke our head inside. So this is actually where the wedding celebrations were last night that we saw, so some of the buildings that might look familiar, and we're heading towards the church back there. Hopefully it's still open. Okay, this is Templo de Santo Domingo. Hopefully I got that right, I think it is. I'll pop it on screen either way. So this is it on wide angle from the outside. I think we have to go that direction if we want to go inside. Guys, there's another wedding celebration about to happen. So it says outside that white panel that there's a celebration, it's not the time to visit, so I'll have to come back another day to look inside, but I think it's probably the wedding behind us. Celebration's about to happen, but it looks really, really beautiful from the outside. And the sun, by the way, is absolutely scorching. Jeremy's going to wait in the shade, but I think we're probably going to be finding some lunch soon. I don't know if we're going back home for lunch, and then we want to work a bit this afternoon. So we're going to start heading back, but we're just walking past this market, and it seems like there's live music, so we thought we'd go this way home. Oh, there's a little puppy there. We thought we'd walk through the market on the way back, see what goodies we can find. I must admit I absolutely love the fabrics here, like obsessed with these, and the bags, wow. Beautiful jewellery as well. Oh, they're so pretty. Really cool shoes, belts, knives even. So what I find interesting here is there's definitely a certain type of graphic design that seems to be everywhere, including like this style. There's a lot of that in this city. We've been to a couple of different places now and they seem to do graphic design and drawing in the same sort of style, which is really interesting. Look at these fabrics. Something I want to do while we're here is to go to some fabric workshops, I guess. So there's a town nearby and I've seen like 4 or 5 different ateliers or workshops, I guess, where they actually dye the threads and then weave it all together and you can go and actually see it being made. So having studied textiles at university, I would love that. Here's some more graphic design that's very similar to the other ones. But yeah, so hopefully we get to do that at some point as well, which should be fun. Hi guys, so we have been at the hotel working the past couple of hours. It's now 6:30 and we've come out to a show. But before I tell you about what's going on tonight, we have just been talking to somebody called Lucy Barnard. She's got a YouTube channel and Instagram, and she's attempting to be the first woman to walk the length of the earth from Ushuaia in Argentina all the way up to Alaska. So she's been hiking so far for 4 years. She had to stop for 2 years during the pandemic. So 2017, I think she said she started. She's currently in Mexico, obviously we just met her today. And she thinks she's got another 2 years left to go to make it all the way up to the top, but it's absolutely bananas. So we're just chatting to her very quickly because she had to get to bed because she's getting up at like 4 AM to start hiking again tomorrow. She's going to start hiking up towards Pueblo, but not quite going there. Anyway, super, super interesting. I'm going to leave her Instagram and YouTube down below. If you want to find somebody else who's travelling, but like doing a different style travelling to us, really, really interesting. Would love to interview her for the podcast if we ever bring it back. Anyway, tonight, so we saw some people, I think I showed you earlier, setting up some fireworks or something. So we've come to the square now and there's lots of the huge like people statue things that they have where, you know, the weddings we've been seeing where they all dance around. They've got a couple of those. They've also got, it looks like fireworks, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. But yeah, did you find out what it is? Event tonight? No, Jeremy looked on ChatGPT and he didn't find out. So we're just going to sit here for the next like hour or so until it starts and see what happens. So this is the cathedral or church that we went into earlier. That's the palace, and then we saw people setting up here. Well, it's actually turned into this huge like sculpture thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be fire or fireworks, no idea, but there's so many people here, loads of people sat on the steps. And then these are the, I don't even know what you would call them, like dolls, dancers things, I don't know. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 of them, and there's these balls as well. That's obviously the other church that we went into. And it's really busy, so I have no idea what is going on, what's about to happen, but I'll film little bits and show you. symptom, so when that happens I like hide my face so I can't lose an eye. I'm really scared I'm going to lose an eyeball. The safety here is insane, like there's just no safety. Like in England you have to be well away from fireworks. Here they're literally running in the crowd with them. It's absolutely bananas. I think they're about to do the big thing now, so when that happens I'm walking like way the other direction because I don't want to be anywhere near that. It's just unbelievably insane. Hi guys, it's the next day, so I thought I would talk to you about last night and what happened, and then also talk to you about our journey to Oaxaca. So what happened last night, as you saw in the video, we'd seen them setting up some sort of firework display. We went along and sat down, and it was absolute carnage. It was madness. It was like a group of people all on this plaza, and then people would come with these cow-shaped, like, ornamental things that had basically fireworks spiraling off it, and it was just so scary for me. Every time it banged I screamed. I was terrified pretty much the whole time. It was only towards the end where I was like, okay, I'm not actually terrified right now, I can watch it. But honestly, I hid behind Jeremy most of the time, and I was so scared that one of them was going to fly off and hit me in the eye and make me blind. I must have seen that as a story when I was a kid or something, and it's like haunted me. So now I'm scared of fireworks as it is, but usually you're kind of like, 50 meters away, 100 meters away, however far it is, I don't really know. But you're usually like far away, whereas this was literally in the middle of the crowd. And then behind us there was the truck, and that started firing off fireworks, and it was literally like people were stood right next to it. There's no like health and safety, or just completely different health and safety to what I'm used to from England. But it was honestly wild. One of the craziest things I think I've ever seen on my travels was what happened last night. We then went to a place that actually, so the first night we arrived, we had food at just like a local food truck, and we got talking to a Mexican guy who's from Puebla, and he was here for a couple of days with his wife on holiday or for work or something, I don't remember. But he said to go to this place that was a couple of blocks away, so we went last night, and it's basically a Mexican pizza place. Now, it's not pizza like the Italians do it. It's basically a really thin taco base, like really, the small one is actually quite large, and then they put on the black bean like paste, and then cheese, and then you can choose a meat, and they also put on guacamole, and they have lots of different things. It's like this whole station thing. It was actually really organised, even though it looked a complete mess. So we ended up asking a couple of locals what we do, what to order, what's good, and ate there. And it was actually really good. It was really different to anything I've had before, but it was actually pretty good. So that was kind of yesterday. And before I carry on with today's vlog, I wanted to talk to you briefly about the travel from San Cristobal to Oaxaca. So we arrived a couple of days ago now, and rather than getting a 12-hour or 13-hour overnight bus from San Cristobal in Chiapas to Oaxaca City in Oaxaca State, rather than doing the 12-hour overnight bus, we'd read online that it can be dangerous, or that people can steal your things from your bag when you're asleep in the middle of the night. So we thought, we don't want to do that. We'll stop off overnight somewhere. So we ended up stopping off at somewhere called Huichache, and we'd read online that it's not a very safe area, just especially at night time. Don't walk around at night, you know, all these kind of things. So I was a bit scared to arrive anyway. But what was interesting, the first day, the journey was really smooth. It was really flat. It was just flat fields, basically, not even fields, just dryness. And the interesting part, a sad part I found, was the amount of migrants we saw walking on the road. So they're walking from Guatemala to Huichache, which is where we stayed for the night. And I looked on Google Maps, to go from the border of Guatemala to the town that we were staying at for the night, it was like 5 days walking, and we saw groups of men, women, children, all different ages, different ethnicities, different people, different backgrounds. You hear about people, you know, escaping war, escaping terrorism, escaping, you know, people against gay rights and things like this, and all these different stories, but actually seeing it with my own eyes really, really shocked me, and it kind of took me back quite a bit. So we did see probably at least 50 people, probably more, walking along this like long road in the middle of, you know, the Mexican desert, in the heat, in the middle of the day, and it was quite shocking for me. And then when we arrived, I was quite nervous. And it's not that I think that migrants are bad people, anything like that at all. I think it was more just that, like, if I was in that state where I'd been walking for 5 days, I was hungry, I was thirsty, I was desperate, you know, I think rich, white, travellers would be an easy target. So I was just nervous about being an easy target. Nothing happened, it was absolutely fine. But we arrived and the bus station was just full of families and people sleeping and really just not having the best time. Dropped our bags off, went out for dinner, everything was fine. Went and got the bus the next day, everything was fine. And then the bus the next day was an absolute nightmare. So I'm glad we did break it up into 2 days, because otherwise it would have been absolutely exhausting. But it was basically 6 hours of going up and down hills and windy roads and up and down and da-da-da-da. And I felt so ill, but also the toilet on the bus is right at the back and we were sat right at the front. And I thought, if I go to the toilet, I'm actually going to throw up, because, you know, you're being thrown about everywhere. So that was awful as well. So I think my advice would be try and fly, if that's an option, from San Cristobal to Oaxaca if you're coming this way, or stop overnight somewhere. It was, yeah, not fun. Our original plan actually was to go down to Puerto Escondido, which is in Oaxaca, but it's on the coast. But we couldn't find a bus from there up to Oaxaca, and I've actually found some since we've been here, so it's a bit of a shame that we've kind of missed out on that area. But yeah, definitely try and stop on overnight somewhere, because it was just a long 2 days of travelling. I don't think I filmed anything either. I was just like, I've been watching one day on Netflix and just reading and sleeping and relaxing. But yeah, it was a bit of a journey, but we're here. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday's footage. Today we are planning on walking to a neighbourhood that is apparently quite artistic and artisanal and kind of workshops and things like that. So we're going to go for a walk around. I'll show you what I can, and let's enjoy the day. Okay, so we're making our way to the neighbourhood we want to visit. It's either Xochimilco or Xochimilco, or something completely different. So I'm going to pop it on screen so you can see. But we are nearly there. We're just about to cross the main road, which is why it's noisy with traffic. Bit of a mismatch outfit today. I've got my nice earrings that I got from San Cristobal that are amber. I've just got on t-shirt and like my legging shorts. Okay, I just asked someone, it's Xochimilco. Xochimilco. Wow. So that's where we've come to look around for about an hour or so. So we have no idea what there is to see in this part of town. Jeremy was looking at Airbnbs in this area. Didn't end up happening for whatever reason, so we almost stayed here. I'm actually glad we stayed closer to town because it's a lot easier, but yeah, no idea what there is to see. A park and a church, Jeremy just said. So yeah, I'll show you around anyway. So this is meant to be the church and the park, so no bueno. Let's keep going. There's lots of artwork there. This one's really cool. The bird and the flower. So we're just walking past this workshop and I asked if we can come in and she said yes, and I was asked if I can do a video and she said yes. But it's these huge looms where they weave textiles, so you can see the pattern here. And this is going to be a huge rug, or maybe not a rug, it's actually see-through, you can see the light through the other end. Like a blanket or something, but there's 3 in this room. So there's that one, there's actually 4. There's that one and that one. And then there's 2 back here as well. With all the same actually, it's all the same fabric, the same design. So I wonder if they just have one pattern that they do over and over and over again. This one's green, actually, rather than blue, but it's the same pattern. It's really cool to see that. So it was really nice to see the looms and the weaving. Jeremy spoke to the woman in Spanish. I didn't understand much of it, but she said that they're making bed sheets. So they had the biggest one that I showed you at the beginning is a king or a queen or something, queen. And then they had a double, and then they also had a single, and they're doing the same pattern throughout. So they just make one design basically. And then Jeremy asked how long it takes to make one blanket, and she said 8 hours if you were to do it straight, you know, all in one day. Otherwise, usually about 2 days, because obviously you take breaks and you know, chit chat and things like that. So 8 hours solid, but about 2 days of actual working. So it's really interesting to see that, which I think this area is known for, is for kind of handicrafts and handmade things. So it'll be interesting to see what else we find along the way. So there's some cute streets down here and paintings and things. I'll pop some on screen, some of the pictures I've taken, because I'm not filming every single one. But it's really beautiful here. It's actually quite a quiet neighbourhood, and I think it's a nice place to stay if you don't want to be in the centre of town, because there's not like main roads and parties and things like that. But apparently this way there is an aqueduct, or the remains of an aqueduct, that we're going to go and visit in this direction, I think. It's quite flowery and pretty down here. It's very colourful and cute. So this is the old aqueduct. I guess they just don't need it anymore. It's also quite dry around here. Like there's no... even the tree in front is very dry. But it's nice to see the mountains behind. I didn't really realise that Oaxaca would be so mountainous, like around the outside, around the outskirts. So we've just walked down to see it a little bit closer. This is what it looks like. And Jeremy put on ChatGPT like what to do in this neighbourhood, and it came up with about 8 things, I think 5 of which were in main town Oaxaca and not actually here. So I think the only thing really to see is the old aqueduct. So we're just going to wander around, see what we can find, if we can find any more kind of artisanal things or art galleries or shops or cafes, I don't know, we'll see. This is interesting. I think it's it is a restaurant, but the outside is this metal that has been like punctured to create these birds, and there's an archway with a painting of a bird in the middle, but I've never seen anything like that before. We have found the market, but because it's a Sunday, most places are closed. Like that one over there is open, there's a couple of places open. But I wonder if we came during the day, there'd be all like fruits and veggies here. It's cute with these paper things, but yeah, there's not a whole lot to see in this part of town, I'll be honest. We found the church. It's exactly where it was supposed to be, it's just that it didn't look like a church from where we were standing. So I think we're going to try and have a look inside if it's open. But so far this neighbourhood, it's cute in that it's quiet, it's quite artsy, it's definitely quieter in terms of like traffic and people and things like that than the centre of town. There are paintings on the walls, but because we're here on a Sunday, I think a lot of the kind of cafes and shops and artisanal things are closed. So I think if you do come to this part of town, maybe try and come on a weekday where it's not going to be, you know, I think Sundays in Mexico anyway, a lot of things are closed. So probably wasn't the best day to come, but anyway, let's have a look inside the church. Jeremy's just gone in. Okay, here is the inside of the church. So this is just the end of the church, giving you a quick little look. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed my first impressions of Oaxaca. I still have a couple of videos left from Oaxaca, so make sure you stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.